Hey gang, do you ever wonder if there's something that your training is missing? So you're working hard in the gym, you're even working with a strength coach, but there are one or two key ingredients that are really important for you, specifically as a hockey goalie. I'm going to share two of them with you that I discovered this week when I got to work with an athlete from out of town who's doing a great job. He's in fantastic shape, but there were two things that we came across in his goalie-specific workout that gave him a little bit of trouble. I'm Maria from GoalieTrainingPro.com. I specialize in off-ice training of hockey players, specifically goalies, and let me show you what I found out this week. So the first exercise that gave this athlete a little bit of trouble was knee recovery to step over to knee recovery. He did great moving to his right, just flawless, piece of cake. But then when it was time for him to come back the other way, he wanted to always pick up this foot first. Then he wanted to push off this leg first and kind of came in a crossover. So not weird, we see it in all kinds of different sports. He was right leg dominant. He wanted to lead all the time with that right leg. But we could really see in this exercise, it really highlighted how biased he was towards that movement and how it would change the way he responded on the ice. And as you get higher and higher levels, you know, teams are picking up on that stuff. I know a lot when I was a strength coach for the basketball team at the University of Western Ontario, you know, our guys would have the same thing. And it's almost like a player that can only dribble with their right hand. You know, the other team figures that out and they know, hey, they like to come in on the right side and do a layup or come on the right side and pull up for a jumper. So they spend the whole game forcing them to the right. You know, in this case, they can say, okay, this guy is really good moving from goalie right to left, but coming left to right, he has trouble. So get him moving left to right and shoot, shoot, shoot. So we just worked on simply going through the movement pattern off the ice, and we can just build that in and teach his body, hey, okay, this is the way to do it. This feels fine. I'm competent and comfortable here. So that's another benefit of off-ice training. So as you can slow things down a little bit and just work on the movement patterns. The other one that gave him a bit of trouble was a single leg squat off a box. And really the thing was he would get to about here and then kind of bounce out of the bottom. And I don't think, you know, this is an exercise that I use with skaters and goalies. And I think it was more just the fact that he hadn't done this yet in his off-season training, and probably his strength coach at home is going to get to it, probably even within the next couple of weeks. But again, single leg training is so important, whether you're a skater or a goalie, because this exercise, what it does is it amplifies, hey, if there's any weakness in the low range of motion, they're going to want to bounce out of that position. If the athlete's balance is terrible, they're not going to be able to do it at all. And finally, if their lateral hip muscles, the muscles we actually use when we're striding, if they're not firing as well as they could or they're weak, then that knee is going to fall in as they come down. So again, lots of things we can learn by looking at that exercise. If I see an athlete who can competently do that exercise with a decent load, you know, our higher level hockey guys would be doing that with 50-pound dumbbells. And the moderates, you know, if you're doing that with 15 or 20 pounds with nice looking repetitions for 4 to 6 repetitions, then I know, hey, your hips are working pretty well. You've got good balance, nice stability in that hip joint. So those are two that gave this athlete a little bit of trouble at the very, very first. He was a great athlete because he really could adapt, and by the third set, when he was a little more tired, the patterns were much, much better. So something for you guys to look at in your own training, and if you find that, you know, one direction is really good and one is poor, take some time to clean it up. If you find there's an exercise like that, wow, I know I'm strong in my legs, but it's just I'm having trouble with this exercise, just slow it down, get it right before you start adding a lot of overload. This is Maria from GoalieTrainingPro.com. Happy training, gang. I'll see you next time.